After years of research and talking with God, having my own personal relationship with the Lord, Jesus, honey, the Most High God, Mother Mary, um, I just want to come and talk. I finally am ready and confident enough to talk about homosexuality. So, homosexuality, as a matter of fact, I'm going to start like this. God don't got no issue with homosexuality. Yep. God got an issue with lust, with whoredom. So we think about Sodom and Gomorrah, that story in the Bible. That complete city got destroyed, decimated, because they were treating sex like it was just something to do. Excuse me. That's a confirmation bird. Come on. God has a problem with whoredom, fornication, adultery, and deception. You look back over time, like homosexuality has always been around because it's always been in the design of humankind. Like people, energy is everything. All right, that's divine feminine and divine masculine. The whole divine spirit is comprised of these elements. You know what I'm saying? And we are a reflection of God. We are His children. So yeah, we all have that feminine and masculine energy within us, male or female, it don't matter. Somehow, some way, a group of men, had to be men, okay, came together and was like, well, yeah, in the beginning times when they were trying to figure out like what can they do to force people to follow them, to create fear in their hearts, to make them do as they say. And it was never about spirituality or having a personal relationship with God. It was always about money and control. When you look back, even like I think about Japan back in feudal times when they were Shinto, they still are, but a lot of people were being killed in the name of Christ. That ain't God. All right, a lot of people were being killed because they were not choosing to say I'm a Christian, which is wrong. And it's been happening since then, present day. And then we go to the Roman Catholics. They are some of the main ones, those Illuminati reptilian people that have been leading the children astray from God. They have been saying, same sex marriage or two men or two women loving each other is a sin and abomination. That's a lie. It's a lie. They only did that because the thought of, oh, I don't want to burn for eternity scares people into giving that pope or that pastor their money and their energy. A lot of these religious leaders are demons, wolves in sheep's clothing, that are parading around as children of God. They're false prophets, all right? Not only are they false prophets, but they're secret closet pedophiles, all right? Just about every single preacher out there that just blasts homosexuality, always talks about homosexuality in a negative light, they themselves are homosexual, all right? They themselves are just too scared to be honest with themselves. And so they project that teaching of saying that homosexuality is bad to make themselves feel better about themselves. But see, the thing is, God loves authenticity. If you're not authentic with yourself, you're not showing love to yourself, you're not showing yourself, okay, I love myself, that means you're lying to every person around you. That means you're lying to God. And that's what God got a problem with, okay? And here's some more tea for you. The majority of, and it's a lot of times men, there are female pedophiles out there. We're not going to dismiss them because they exist, honey. But a lot of men, they either get molested or raped by the type of guy that doesn't love himself. It's a vicious cycle. It's a curse. They don't love themselves. They hide behind God or Christianity, religion rather, and behind closed doors they're touching little boys, little girls, and they have just living a whole double life. A lot of them, it's thousands, probably millions, child, of men on this planet right now, and women that are married to the opposite sex or just to whoever, just for the sake of it, just because society told them, I gotta have kids, I gotta be married to this kind of person, so I can look this way, so that I can get ahead in life. And that, no. Is your heart happy? Probably not. That came out weird. Probably not. Your heart probably ain't happy. And you're lying to yourself. You're lying to the children that you had with the person you're married to. You're lying to the person you're married to. Because a lot of men be going around having sex with men on the down low and then going back home to their wife talking about, I love you so much. No, ma'am. No, sir. That Jezebel spirit is running rampant through the land. And God had already told us. It already happened once. The Jezebel spirit about to be, all right, leading people astray. And those same people, they're allowing that Jezebel spirit to do that. They're allowing these religious leaders are allowing the Jezebel spirit to embody them, to inhabit them, to lead the people of God astray, to teach them not to love themselves. Let me give you a story from my own personal experience. When I was a kid, my stepfather, I hate saying father because he ain't no father. My stepdad, he is an apostle. He is one of those false prophets, and he is a huge pedophile. Think about different things he would say to me as a kid growing up, and I'm like, ew, that's gross. Like, I kind of thought, it's just what dads say to their kids, but no. I remember this one time he was laying in bed and he asked me, he was like, it was like trying to joke. He was like, hey, put your hand out so I can put my thing in your hand so you can go pee for me. Who says that to their child? Nasty, all right? And he was one of the main ones always preaching against homosexuality. And there was one time where I wore skinny jeans to school. And he flipped his shit and ended up kicking me out. But that let me know right there that he was actually attracted to me, which is nasty. Even if we're not related, it's still gross. But and I look at his children. I'm pretty sure he molested his first son, his actual son, because years, like when I was younger, I'm going to kind of jump into time, but when I was younger, his son had started to come over to spend the night, and he was touching me, and I didn't even, you know what I'm saying, I kissed a boy before because it was a daycare. I just knew, like, I was attracted to this kid and we just kissed, you know what I'm saying? But this older, almost teenager, was like lurking and lusting after me. And it made me, as an adult, I'm like, where did he get that from? And he got it from Glenn. He got it from the stepdad, the false prophet, the false apostle, okay? And the cycle continued. I look at I can't call them nephews because we're not really related. I was adopted illegally. Anyway, I digress. One of those nephews, the youngest one, he started showing, he was doing things like real, like, sexual things towards his older brothers, and they're all about younger than, like, at the time, you know what I'm saying, younger than like 10 years old. They're kids. And this morning I had an epiphany. I'm like, who did Levi, the youngest child, spend most of his time with during his infant stages? Glenn. He was around Glenn the majority of the time. He spent a lot of time with Glenn because his daughter was always at work, wasn't really taking care of the kids like that. So he was babysitting. And I was like, wow. You think about all these different, like the Pope, the different people that prey on these little kids because they feel like, again, if they use their fear tactics, like you better not say nothing to nobody or I'm gonna do whatever. That person never happened to me, but they place fear into these kids' hearts, or they brainwash them to think, oh, this is okay, like this person loves me. No, that person was putting a curse on you, a curse of lust. And that's what God got a problem with. God got a problem with the fornication, the adultery, the lust that comes with inauthenticity. Okay? That is the real abomination. All right? And Chad, you ain't gotta take it from me. If you got a personal relationship with God, with the Holy Divine Spirit, with Jesus, with Mother Mary, you know what I'm saying? Talk to them yourself and let them clarify for you. I spent the last couple months reading Revelations, like one chapter a day, Revelations, Amos, and then I went to Leviticus. And then God had me go to Leviticus chapter 20. And chapter 13 specifically stuck out to me because that's where it was talking about lying with mankind as you would with a woman. And for me personally, I am a man, right? But I am a divine feminine. In my past life, I was literally a woman, all right? And I know in my heart that I'm a healer, so I know that I need a protector, which is the divine masculine. So in my heart, I already know that who was meant for me is a male, right? And I know, all right, I spent a lot of years chasing love, trying to find love. I didn't have love growing up. My mother was always jealous of me, didn't really support me. She was just very fake. And then the stepfather, he was violent, still is, just angry because he grew up, from what I understand, he was raped by his own uncle. So he just took it upon himself to not heal and just took it upon himself to do the same thing to children after him, to his own children, to children that ain't even his. Yeah. But it's the fornication that comes from, oh, I'm searching for my person who, like, I just want love. And instead of operating out of love, you operate out of lust. You see a person, oh, they're attractive, let me go after them and then have sex with them, and then what? You feel drained, you don't feel happy. Now you have a soul tie with somebody that don't have no intention of like building with you spiritually, don't have any intention of growing, any intention of worshiping God with you, don't have no intention of raising the vibration of the collective of the earth with you. That's the issue. You know what I'm saying? Your person will come when you truly love yourself and sit with God and reflect on yourself, and then you realize what your true divine purpose is. Everyone has a role. Excuse me. Everyone has a role on this earth for God. A lot of people blatantly choose to not answer that call. That's between them and God. But for each individual, we all have our own different things. And that's what, twin flames and soulmates come in, because it's one soul that's split into two. So your twin, the person that you're meant to be with, is somewhere out there. And when you start to love yourself, love your body, love your mind, love your heart, all that good stuff, then you're going to attract that person that's meant to be your divine counterpart. You feel me? But real talk, boo, a lot of these heterosexuals ain't even heterosexuals. They just having children just because society said they need to have children. All right? Look at all these orphan children, all these kids in the streets running around. Ain't nobody got no guidance, because their parents, they don't love themselves. So how you expect for them to show love to their kids? And then it ain't just and speaking of heterosexuals, and people always talk about the stigma of like AIDS and stuff like that. It's a lot of heterosexuals with STD, AIDS, syphilis, and all that nastiness, because they just throwing the cat around, throwing the D around, just having sex just to have sex. And when sex is a very sacred act. I've been celibate for a good 2 years. All right? Sex is a very sacred act. You can just be doing that with anybody. And you wonder why all these different diseases, you know what I'm saying? People just sick. People don't want to take care of their kids because they refuse to go inward. They refuse to face their shadows. The shadow of God still loves me regardless of my sexuality. What God doesn't love is the lust and the whoredom and the fornication. It's simple. It's simple. There's so much more I could say, but I feel like I'll start repeating myself. So I'm gonna let that be it. I love y'all. Wow. Peace.